Hello everyone, welcome to the programmer's world. In this tutorial we will just take a look at the basic concepts of Java Swing library components. Most programs that people use from day to day involve a graphical user interface, a term which is abbreviated as GUI and often pronounced GUI. We're going to look at how to build a GUI using a Java library called Swing. Historically, AWT came first. It was an attempt to provide a set of classes that interfaced with the graphical elements provided by each operating system. Thus, if we create a button using AWT, it corresponds to a Mac OS X button, when the program is run in Mac OS X, a Linux button when run under Linux, and a Windows button when run under Windows. This leads to difficulties due to slight differences in behavior under different operating systems. Rather than continue to deal with the resulting headaches, Java's developers created Swing, which implements all the graphical elements entirely in Java. Let's take a quick view of the Swing components we will learn here one by one. First of all, we shall discuss about jframe. A jframe is a top-level window with a title and a border. The size of the frame includes any area designated for the border. The dimensions of the border area may be obtained using the getInsets method. A frame, implemented as an instance of the jframe class, is a window that has decorations such as a border, a title, and supports button components that close or iconify the window. Applications with a GUI usually include at least one frame. And this is the code to create a new jframe. And here are some very important methods of jframe, which we should know. First is set default close operation, which defines that what will happen when frame will close. Second is add method, which is used to add created components in the frame. Third is pack method. It size the frame and pack the components. Fourth is set visible method. This method is very important. It allows to appear the frame on the screen, if it also take on argument of Boolean type. Fifth one is set location method, used to set the location on the screen. Next user interface component is jlabel. Jlabel is used to display a single line of read-only text. The text can be changed by an application, but a user cannot edit it directly. It inherits jComponent class. Jlabel constructor is used to create a new jlabel. The main methods of jlabel which we generally use are: first is getText method, which returns the text string that a label displays. Second is setText method. It defines the single line of text that component will display. It is generally used to set the text of a label to be shown to a user. Third is set horizontal alignment, which is used to set the alignment of the label's contents along the x-axis. Fourth is getIcon method. This method returns the graphic image that the label displays. And fifth is getHorizontal alignment method. It returns the alignment of the label's contents along the x-axis. Next user interface component is jtextfield. Jtextfield class is a text component that allows the editing of a single line text. It inherits jTextComponent class. And here are some important methods of jtextfield class, which we generally use. First is add action listener. This method is used to add the specified action listener to receive action events from this text field. Second is getAction method. Action getAction. This method returns the currently set action for this action event source, or null, if no action is set. Third is set font method. It is used to set the current font. Fourth method is remove action listener. This method is used to remove the specified action listener, so that it no longer receives action events from this text field. Next user interface component is jbutton. This is one of the most important UI component. Jbutton class is used to create a labeled button that has platform-independent implementation. The application result in some action when the button is pushed. It inherits abstract button class. Some of the important methods which we commonly use are setText method. This method is used to set specified text on button. getText method. This method will return the text of the button. setEnable method. This method is used to enable or disable a button. setIcon. This method is used to set the specified icon on the button. getIcon. This method is used to get the icon on the button. It will return null if there is no icon on the button. setMnemonic method. It is used to set the mnemonic on the button. And very important one is add action listener method. It is used to add the action listener to this button. Next user interface component is jcheckbox. Jcheckbox class is used to create a checkbox. It is used to turn an option true or false. Clicking on a checkbox changes its state from on to off, or from off to on. It inherits jtoggleButton class. And some important methods of jcheckbox are getAccessibleContext. This method is used to get the accessible context associated with this jcheckbox. And second one is paramString, which returns a string representation of this jcheckbox. Apart from this, there are many other methods, which are similar to other components, such as setBound or isChecked, etc. Next component we will discuss is jradiobutton. Jradiobutton is an implementation of a radio button, an item that can be selected or deselected, and which displays its state to the user. And some important method of jradiobutton are getAccessibleContext. This method gets the accessible context associated with this jradiobutton. Second method is getUIClassID. This method returns the name of the LNF class that renders this component. Third method is paramString. This method returns a string representation of this jradiobutton. And fourth method is updateUI. This method resets the UI property to a value from the current look and feel. Jcheckbox is generally used as multi-selector from a single group. And jradiobutton group is used to select one item out of many. Next important component we are going to discuss is jcombobox. We use it generally when we have to select one item from a list. It is used to show pop-up menu of choices. Choice selected by user is shown on the top of a menu. It inherits jComponent class. Some very commonly used methods of jcombobox are addItem method. This method is used to add an item to the item list. Second is removeItem method. This method is used to delete an item from the item list. Third one is removeAllItems method. This method is used to remove all the items from the combo box. Next method is setEditAble. SetEditAble method is used to determine whether the jcombobox is editable. Fifth one is addActionListener method. This is used to add the action listener in jcombobox. And last one is addItemListener method. Add item listener method is used to add the item listener in jcombobox. This method is very useful when selected item is changed in ComboBox. These classes are just basics to design an attractive user interface in Java Swing. Apart from these, there are many other components, which we can use to design attractive and user-friendly user interface, such as jeditor pane, jdebug, jdesktop pane, jtree, jprogress bar, jtoggleButton, jtoolbar, jmenubar, and many more. You can read in detail about these components online. I hope you like this basic tutorial on the various components to design Java user interface using Swing. Please click on subscribe button to get more details on programming tutorials. Thanks for watching.